Hello, good morning to you, sport fans. Welcome to today's edition of the program Talk Sport. Right here on the Global TV, Nigerian capital city is where we're coming from this beautiful day. Negotiations are in top gears for the coach for the Super Falcons. Cameroon have qualified for the African Cup of Nations in a dramatic game that took place yesterday in Yaoundé. Little League development of baseball in the country. We'll be looking at it this morning, and we'll be taking you to Lagos, where Kinde is standing by to give us development on Little League development in the country. And of course, Melta Sports will also be one of us this morning, as we'll be joining Baruch in Kano to tell us how mental sport can really be a challenge that needs to be tackled to give way for the development of sport. These and many more stories will come your way only on Global Television Talk Sport this beautiful Wednesday morning right here in Nigeria's capital city. Let's take a break. When we come back, we go straight to stories that are making headlines in sport. Please don't go away. And I am Clinton saying, welcome on board. Glad to have you back on the program this beautiful day right here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. It's time for us to talk sport, and let's go straight with stories that are making headlines in the world of sport. Let's tell you that the nation's football governing body, Nigeria NFF, has mandated the technical committee of its body to go ahead and negotiate with the coach to extend his contract with the female national team. Talking about the female national team of Nigeria, who were part of the FIFA World Cup. The guys will also ensure that they have a better understanding to ensure that the players maintain their position in Nigeria. The coach contract expired shortly after the team was knocked out at the knockout stages of the just concluded FIFA Women World Cup. So a new contract is expected, and the NFF had ordered its technical committee members to go ahead and discuss that. Let's take it to Cameroon, where a report reaching us say Cameroon national team, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, finally qualified yesterday as one of the teams that will participate in next year's edition of the African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. The indomitable Lions, in front of home fans, defeated Burundi by 3-0 to the delight of Samuel Eto'o, former 4-time African footballer and, of course, currently president of FECAFOOT. FECAFOOT is the name given to the body running football in Cameroon. We call it NFF, they call it FECAFOOT. So Cameroon is through. We'll be waiting for the last game between Lesotho and Morocco. Don't forget that the Confederation of African Football, CAF, put that game on hold as part of sympathy with our Moroccan brothers and sisters over what happened to them, talking about the earthquake. Let's tell you more about that. The Nigerian Football Federation, under the leadership of its president, Gwozo, paid a condolence visit to the Moroccan embassy here in Abuja as part of the African spirit of always being your brother's neighbor, to demonstrate love and sympathize with the people of Morocco over the deadly earthquake that claims lives of men and women in faraway Morocco. We pray that the souls of the departed will rest in peace. Amen. Let's go straight and take one man who will be joining us this morning is Mr. Kinde. Of course, we'll be taking a look at the development of softball and baseball in the country. Nigeria National Youth Game will have baseball participating at still not on the medal table, but at least for demonstration. We will be finding out how much this has been going in the country. And so when we come back, we'll take you straight to Lagos, where Mr. Kennedy will be standing by. Please don't go away. This is Talk Sport on Global TV, coming away from Nigeria's capital city of Abuja. Glad to welcome you back on the program Talk Sport right here in Global TV in Nigerian capital city of Abuja. Let's tell you that the Nigerian Football Federation has concluded plan to ensure that the coach of the female national team, talking about Randy Wardrum's contract is extended. To that, the Nigerian Football Federation has mandated its technical committee with a view to extend the contract of the coach. Of course, you know, he was in action for the nation's female team that participated in the just concluded FIFA World Cup, in which Nigeria was sent packing at the round of the 16 at the Women World Cup, of course, which took place in Australia and New Zealand. The Super Eagles were unbeaten in regulatory time in any of their 4 matches before a penalty shootout that defeated Nigeria by the England female national team. So the coach contract will be extended. They have also to do quickly, as they have a Women Cup of Nations qualifier match next week. The man has done very well by leading the team. Those were good words from the Nigeria Football Federation. The team has an impressive outing at the FIFA World Cup. NFF president talking about Ibrahim Musa Gwozo commenting on the coach. Wardrum signed a 2-year contract with African champions in 2021, during which he led them to qualify for the 2022 Women African Cup of Nations in Morocco and the FIFA Women World Cup in faraway Dakar. Playing in Australia, the Super Eagles also will have to qualify for the Olympic Championship in Canada to a final good draw against Wimbledon. So everything is set, hoping that the coach contract will be renewed as the girls get set to participate in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. If you're joining us, the program is Talk Sport right here in, of course, Nigerian capital city of Abuja. Let's talk about football. Let's go straight and tell you what is happening, because the Nigerian Football Federation is doing everything possible to sympathize and do all the latest. Letters report reaching us, a president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alai Ibrahim Musa Gwozo, and 2 members of the NFF Executive Committee are talking about Alhaji Babagana Kali and Mrs. Aisha Falode on Tuesday paid a condolence visit to the Embassy of Morocco in Nigeria to commemorate with the mission on the recent earthquake in the North African country, which they told is said to be about 3,000. He met with Excellency Ambassador Mohau Ali Takma and the Deputy Head of Mission, Mohamed Amaniya, also presented, where the special consultant to the ambassador of Morocco, Alhaji Ahmed Saibu Gara, and of course the NFF Director of Communication, our own Ademola Lareji, was also there not forgetting the Chief Protocol Officer for the site. Let's tell you how it is here in the nation's capital, Abuja, because a sport will be going straight to Lagos to get the founder of Little League, talking about Mr. Bincha, who will be joining us to give us more on the latest development. Little Lake is part of the team that will participate in the National Youth Games. Of course, the National Youth Games, we are just counting with less than a week to go. All is set for Asaba, and Asaba City is the venue where more than 2,000 Nigerian youths will assemble for the best of youths. We are told that it's for under 15, and let's hope that there will be no room for match fixing and, of course, overage. It's expected that players discovered in the under 15 will be groomed so that they can advance and represent Nigeria in major tournaments. So, as I said, here in Abuja, the National Sport Festival, we are also told that everything is set as Team FCT has since resumed camping, and the venue is at the Old Parade Ground. The athletes are already here, and Asaba is set. And we are also set this morning to see if we can take you to Mr. Kayode. Kayode should be joining us about the Little League. The Little League, it's the beginning of base and softball in the country, and the young ones have all been doing everything possible so that we can have the best of it. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joining by our man who is already trying to join us live to give us information about the Little League. Let's take a break. Have you back on the program Talk Sport this beautiful Wednesday morning right here in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Clinton Agbo, and we are looking at sporting activities in Abuja, Nigeria, Africa, and globally. Let's take you straight to Ghana, where a report reaching us says Ghana has been awarded the hosting right to stage a total of 15 countries in the eSport Valorant Championship, which will last for just 4 days. The league will involve players across 19 countries in Africa, and they'll be battling for honors in the championship. Your darling country, Nigeria, will also participate in that championship, talking about the eSport development. South Africa has also been awarded to stage the second edition, which will be followed just a month after that of South Africa, and they will be having that. So let's hope that the eSport development of Valorant will be a good one. Meanwhile, those who traveled were part of it. Let's see, it appears our man is already on the line this morning and said, let's go straight to Lagos, where Kende is standing by now to give us a development situation. Okay, before we get carried away, Pius Idoko is standing by. Pius, good morning, and glad to have you in the country, back in Abuja. You were in New York, and you came home celebrating, but you are not with us this morning. We wish you the best, but just tell us, how is the situation like? You were close at the NFF, I'm told yesterday. Give us some latest development, Pius Idoko, our man.
Okay. Yes. A very good morning to you, Clinton, and it's a pleasure to be on Talk Sports on Global TV once again. Okay. So the latest development from the Nigeria Football Federation is about the head coach of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, talking about Randy Waldrum. His contract is billed to expire by October, and then the Super Falcons have some Nations Cup qualification matches to be played in this month. We are going to be playing against Sao Tome, and so the leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation under talking about Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusso has given the executive committee members, talking about the technical committee members, he has given them the nod to begin to negotiate with Randy Waldrum for a contract renewal, possibly. I don't know what the terms, I don't know what terms they will be looking at, but as it stands, they want to have um, maybe a talk with him to see if they can pen a new deal with Randy Waldrum. Of course, you do remember that he took Nigeria to the last FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, and the performance of the team, earned him, serious commendation from all quarters. Nigeria played all matches they played at the last or recently concluded FIFA Women's World Cup. The Super Falcons did not lose any match at regulation time. They didn't. It was they were very unlucky to have lost via penalty shootouts to England, and so his performance, the according to the Nigeria Football Federation, it is believed that he needs to be given a look in once again. But it depends on what the negotiations will turn out to be. If Randy Waldrum will agree to the new terms the technical committee will be given to him, then I think we'll be home and dry. That means we'll not be having issues of changing or having a new coach for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So that's the latest development from the headquarters of the Nigeria Football Federation. And let me also let you know that yesterday, the list of referees that will officiate next year's Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire were released on the official website of the Confederation of African Football. Unfortunately for Nigeria, no Nigerian referee was enlisted among the 33 or 32 center referees and 33 assistant referees that will be participating at next year's Africa Cup of Nations. And so it has generated a lot of controversies around on different social media platforms, and many Nigerians are actually not happy about it. Because what do you make of it? What can you say is the reason why Nigeria, no Nigerian referee? Would you say they are not? We also have countries like even Sao Tome and Principe. Referees are coming from there, Algeria, Morocco. So what could possibly be the reason why no Nigerian referee as an assistant referee or the video assistant referees? No Nigerian was, listed there, and so that's been the topic of controversy so far. From yesterday up until this morning, a lot of wranglings, a lot of talks has been going on as regards these issues.
Let's start from what you said. It's on record that of recent, we can't remember the last time Nigeria was seen in the center pitch trying to officiate a game. Perhaps we need to do more in terms of ensuring that our referees do the best so that they can be at the national level. Let's come back to the coach of the Super Falcons who took us and was sent packing at the round of 16 of the just concluded FIFA World Cup. Is the NFF asking for a cut salary like what they did with the senior coach? Are they paying him full salary, or they're still going to ask him for some negotiation? Because it looks like NFF of recent has been negotiating contract cut and asking. Will that take place with the coach of the Super Falcons? We talked about a coach who is being retained just because we were not defeated in full regulation time. But don't forget that the Super Falcons are 9 times African champions. They have a big pedigree into that championship, so we expected them to go beyond. Is that the reason why we should retain the coach, and why delaying up till this moment, Pius? Why is the NFF rushing at what could be described as a fire brigade approach to a coach?
Okay, so let me begin with the aspect of why he needs to be retained. I think the major reason why they wanted to keep Randy Waldrum is because of the structure he has currently built with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. You know that, yes, the time we were very dominant on the continent, Nigeria, no team on the continent will, come close to the ranks when it comes to women's football. But gradually, other African countries are beginning to catch up with us. South Africa, for instance, they won the last Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco, they featured in the finals, and these are teams that are gradually growing in the ranks of the Super Falcons as well. So the coming in of Randy Waldrum, he's been able to inject new players, both local and foreign-based players. At the Nations Cup, it actually didn't pan out well, but then you could see that over time, from the number of friendly matches they've played and other games they've been engaged with, it's evident enough to see that this man was in a rebuilding process. And it was also very clear, very glaring to all eyes to see that Nigeria were forced to contend with, judging from their performance at the last FIFA Women's World Cup. I think it's a team. He's actually working a team that is a work in progress, sort of under Randy Waldrum, and I think that this present NFF leadership, of course, under the leadership of Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, they really do not want to cripple whatever structure that anybody is laying or has laid, just for emphasis sake or just for the progress of the national team. They want that continuity. And I think that this new leadership are not cut out for the issues we've always been having, talking about recycling of coaches, which has always been the thing with us here in Nigeria. Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, he's very transparent with what he does, and he really wants to see that Nigeria makes progress, that Nigerian football gets a better facelift. So, judging from what Randy Waldrum did with the team at the World Cup, I think that is the belief he has what it takes to continue. And if he continues, maybe they give him one or two return back to her rightful place in terms of the way they, and maybe probably the next World Cup, they could go as far as reaching the semifinals. Then probably the NFF might just decide to part ways with him. But in the meantime, I think he has the tactical or the technical know-how to steer the Super Falcons to return known to be. A major reason why the NFF said, let's stick with this man and see what he's going to come up with, judging from what he has done recently with the national team.
On behalf of the Nigeria Football Federation. But let me put this question to you. He was there in action for us at the World Cup, and this is over 3 weeks, or even more than that, that the World Cup ended. Why? Why has the Nigerian Football Federation been waiting until they have a game at hand and they are approaching the coach just to commence negotiation? Are we not still at the risks? And then secondly, you talked about performance. I thought results should be what the NFF is looking for a team that has dominated this thing in the African country for 9 times. If you ask me, at the round of 16 for Nigeria, there was no reason for us to celebrate. And the round of 16, why still retaining the coach? And why not engaging him enough time, Pius?
Oh, okay, let me also make this clear that the round of 16, like I rightly said earlier on, the Super Falcons were very unlucky. We saw how they played against England. They dominated that game in every department of that match. They should have scored as many goals as possible if they have taken all their chances. But unfortunately, like I always say, football sometimes writes its own script. There were 10 ladies. One of them were down, was red carded. Nigeria had the numerous opportunities to have, gone beyond the round of 16, but unfortunately, it ended the way it was. And you know that when a game extends beyond the normal regulation time and it gets to a penalty, at that point it can be anybody's game. And I feel that was what happened to them against England. They were very, very unlucky. You could see that England, after they were able to cross the Nigerian hurdle, they went all the way to the finals. It could have been the Super Falcons to be a distraction to the team ahead of their Nations Cup qualifiers against Sao Tome. And that's why they are taking these steps to ensure that they calm all nerves and to ensure that the Super Falcons go into that game, get maximum points, and in their bid to qualify for the next Women's Nations Cup that will be played in Morocco.
Thank you for finding time to join us this morning on the program TalkSport right here on Global TV. Pius, thank you very, very much, and welcome back to Abuja, the beautiful city. Thank you, Pius. We'll be going straight to Kano, where Abdul Fakar, yes, will be joining us to give us update on health sport. Sportmen and women are expected to be in good frame, and if they are not, then it will not be the best. So he will be joining us. But before then, let's take a break, and urge you please not to go away. Of Abuja, we are talking sport, and this morning we are going straight to Kano, where our man will be telling us how to combine health and mental health in sport development. Let's join Abu Tafruk Olamiji, who is standing in Kano. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome to the program Talk Sport. Hello, good morning. Trying to see if we can get him all the way from Kano to give us update as far as mental health is concerned. There is a program currently going to put athletes and sport writers in good shape in terms of reporting, and he will be telling us all that they have been doing for that matter. It is a CAF event, so we're talking about Abdul Gafar Oladimiji, who will be joining us once again all the way from Kanu to give us an update. But while we wait for him, hopefully the Secretary General of Little League will also be joining us this morning. The Little League is the development of surf and baseball development in the country.